Okay, parallel lines and transversals. Sketch a diagram of the description below. Plane R, so I'm just going to start off with that. I'm going to draw that. Line L intersecting at a 45-degree angle. So when I intersect, remember, I come through, have a point, and then I usually just have a dotted line like so. And if we're intersecting at a 45-degree angle, we just literally write in something like that, 45 degrees. It's intersecting that plane at 45 degrees. AB, line segment in plane R. So I'm just going to draw again something like this, put an R, this time up here, that's a B, not an R. There's an R. AB, so I'm going to just put two dots, A and B. And then it says bisected by point C. So point C needs to be in the middle, the midpoint, the bisector, and I mark these like so to show they are equal. All right, so expanding on what we did in 3.1, the corresponding angles theorem. Notice here, now we're talking about parallel lines. So in the last section, we talked about how, 3 and 6 were alternate interior. 4 and 5 were alternate interior. 1 and 8, alternate exterior. 2 and 7, alternate exterior. 3 and 5 were the same side, okay, or consecutive interior. 4 and 6, consecutive interior, all right? Now we're going one step further, and there's a special relationship now when the lines are parallel, okay? So it says, if two lines are parallel and cut by a transversal, then the pairs at corresponding angles are congruent. So before we said 2 and 6 were corresponding. Well, now we know 2 and 6, okay, and 3 and 7, and 5 and 1, and 4 and 8, all of those, this just lists a couple of those, all of those are corresponding and therefore equal. Alternate interior, okay? If we have alternate interior angles cutting with the transversal cutting two parallel lines, then alternate interior angles are equal. So 3 and 6 and 4 and 5 are congruent. Same thing for alternate exterior. So 1 and 8, 2 and 7 are congruent. And consecutive, this is a twist on it, consecutive are supplementary. So if you look at this, angle 3 and angle 5 obviously are not the same. This one up here is acute, and this one here is obtuse, bigger than 90. Obviously, if one's acute and one's obtuse, they cannot be equal, but they are supplementary. Same thing for 6, which is acute, and 4, which is obtuse. Supplementary, which makes sense though here because we said 4 and 5 were equal and 3 and 6 were equal. Hence, what's happening here? Okay, see how 3 and 4 make a straight line, right? They form 180 degrees. And if we know 3 and 6 are equal to each other, then 6 and 4 are supplementary just like 3 and 4 are supplementary. Basic substitution. Find the measure of the remaining angles. Well, think about it. We know that 1, this is angle 1 up here, and 8 are congruent, right? Well, we also know 1 and 5 are congruent because they are corresponding. But also 5 and 8 are equal because they're vertical angles. And then 4 is also 120, multiple ways. 1 and 4 are vertical angles, so they're equal. 4 and 5 are alternate interior, so they are equal. Now, angle 1 and 2, or angle 1 and 3, are both supplementary. Therefore, these are both 60. Also, 2 and 5 are supplementary because they're consecutive interior. So if you look at this, there's really only two measurements. All of the acute angles are 60. All of the obtuse angles are 120. Now, let's do a little algebra here. This right here, x plus 5, is an interior angle. It's the acute one, whereas 4 is the obtuse one. But notice, we don't have a measurement for 4. Not exactly. But since angle 4 and this angle here are vertical, that means this is 115. And since we know that consecutive interior are supplementary, 115 plus x plus 5 must equal 180. Okay? So I'm going to combine my like terms. Remember, I don't subtract 5 twice on the same side. I combine. So I have x plus 120 equals 180. Now I'm going to subtract 120 from both sides and get 60. So x is 60. Which, if we wanted to find out what this is, 60 plus 5 is 65 degrees. And 65 plus 115 do make 180. Example 3. Okay. Again, notice, this is an obtuse exterior angle. This is acute exterior angle. They're not the same thing. Okay? But there's a lot of ways to look at this. This we know is 136 because these two angles are alternate exterior. All right? We also know that this up here, angle 1, is alternate exterior, so this is 7x plus 9. So there's multiple ways to look at these. But we know that these two angles together form a straight line, so therefore 7x plus 9 plus the 136 are supplementary. So once again, I'm going to combine my like terms. I'm not subtracting 9 twice. I get 7x plus 145 equals 180. I'm going to subtract 145. That gives me 35. And then when I divide by 7, I'm going to get x is 5. Now remember, it says just find x. So I'm done. But if I want to plug it in, 7 times 5 is 35, plus 9, okay, is 44. And 136 plus 44, guess what? Equals 180. All right, exit ticket. This one you're doing on your own. But it says, for violet light, angle 2 is 40. Right here is 40. Okay? So figure out what angle 1 is. Pay attention to the parallel line markers. Good luck.